So this is probably going to be one of the lesser viewed videos on this channel, but whether you're new here or you've been here for a while, you will understand that I really don't do any of this for views. So we're going to get straight to the point here. One of two things will happen if you decide to watch this video in its entirety. Number one, you will hate me or despise me or have just a general distaste for me and my content, and you will not want to consume any of my stuff ever again, and you will go back to living your regular life, and I will be here just fine, continuing my work and continuing to assert myself as one of the top modern day marketers and entrepreneurs on the planet. Or number two, this video will set off into motion a completely different set of actions from you and plant the seeds for a new perspective that will be the start of you changing your life in a different direction. You will create success much faster than you thought. You will shorten the time frame in which you hit 30K a month, 50K, 80K a month, or whatever your goal is. And you will understand that success and income are nothing more than an indicator of your level of self-mastery, more than anything else. And you will understand that being successful is a decision. This video will be the catalyst for making that decision. You will understand that the war of success is entirely made up and is in your mind, that there are no rules. And you will understand that for the last 96 days in a row, I've only been communicating the realities of what it takes to create success, never misleading you, never asking for anything in return. Because your success, no matter the degree, is the best proof and evidence of my message that I could ever ask for. The thing is, you decide which of those two things will take place. This is bigger than cold email. This is bigger than copywriting. This is bigger than AI. This is about you and you as a success story. This video contains the principles to win in any business model or business venture you choose. This is the video I recommend you come back to when you are ready to skip the line. This is the video you should watch when you are ready to have the world take you seriously. Truth is, there's no possible way I can communicate all this to you in one sitting, but this is my best attempt. If this all were to stop today, I know I held nothing back. I owe you nothing but my honesty. I will always challenge you to think bigger. With that being said, let's begin. If it's your first time here, welcome. My name is Pablo. I'm an online entrepreneur currently scaling Scale, my AI marketing agency, to 7 figures in real time, with daily documentation on this channel. We currently generate over $250,000 in deal flow for ourselves and our clients. Yes, I have generated over $1 million in revenue between my own businesses and my clients' businesses, and a lot more than that in deal flow. You can refer to any one of my other videos for the laundry list of social proof. I work with businesses doing over $1 million a year in revenue, helping them scale with AI cold email and helping them design and convert premium offers. As always, you can get this document for free. Link is in the description. It will add you to my newsletter. I will not spam you. I'll just send you some free tips and notes throughout the week with some stuff that will make you richer. I make no income claims. My results are not typical. Now let's begin. So the war is in your mind. So first off, why am I even talking about this? Where is this coming from? Why am I even talking about this? Because the hardest skill to master is repeating your own success in others. The business stuff is rather easy for me. I don't know if you've realized that yet. And I get fulfillment out of that, but I get even more fulfillment I just get fulfillment in general out of doing hard things. I get fulfillment out of helping people. Yes, there's a few of us still around. I estimate that the amount of the total value of revenue I've made other agency owners through my free content and unrestricted mentorship has to be at least between $50,000 and $100,000 in the last 2 to 3 weeks. So I'm talking about this because I genuinely get fulfillment out of helping people. But you, as perhaps a potential client or perhaps someone who might be potentially in my mentorship program, whatever it is, or just hanging around in the community, you are of no use to me. Or to the people who matter most to you. Forget me. If your mind isn't where it needs to be, you're of no use to the people who matter most to you. If you don't see yourself in the way you need to actually produce the results that you desire and be successful, you're of no use. So this is why I'm talking about this. So let's talk about how to collapse time, how to shorten the time frame between where you are and where you actually want to be. Like not the small vision that you settle for, but like the really, really big one that when you dare to dream big, that's the one. The one that you're kind of scared to, not perhaps scared, but there's a better word or better way to put it. But the one that you don't feel like saying to the people around you because you feel like it just doesn't make much sense to them. We're going to talk about how to collapse time. I'm only talking about this because I've done it. Evidence demonstrated for the last 96 days in a row. So we're going to talk about making the big numbers small because this is the thing. So let me be very clear in saying this. There's a way to skip the line. I don't talk about get that. This is not get rich quick. There's a way to advance and accelerate a lot faster. So there's a way to skip the line. There is a way to skip the line to any level of income you want. I'm doing this in practice right now. I don't talk about this much because I'm focused on doing that. I don't talk about this much because I'm not a YouTuber. Because I'm focused on actually executing and doing the thing that I talk about more than I am focused on preaching. So it's not about me, but don't ever get this confused. This is not my main thing. All right. So I have goals that I'm going to be, you'll understand if it's your first time here that I'm very open. I have goals that I am still short of. And I have a real life and a real business outside of YouTube. And I have to think about how what I talk about on here affects me over there. That being said, the way you skip the line to a certain level of wealth is you reduce the significance of the things that you desire. You talk about them as though they are nothing, as though they are very little to you, as though they are nothing special. That is how you collapse time. What do I mean? Well, let's bring this back down to earth before we end up in woo-woo land, because that's where we're not going to go. I need what I say on these. I'm very mindful and intentional of trying to make the things that I say here, despite them oftentimes being principles and not tactics, or principles and not strategies. I'm very mindful of trying to make them applicable and actionable. So let's bring this back down to earth. I find that these videos are most relatable when I build it around your questions. So I see the YouTube comments. And I genuinely appreciate them. You know, I had an audience member reach out to me. Thank you for giving me the idea for this video, by the way. I had an audience member reach out to me via email and via YouTube comment, saying that they run an agency with 10 or so active clients. They wrote to me with a bunch of context and then proceeded to ask me if I think it's possible for them to hit $12K a month if they charge, about $4,000 per client. By the way, so you're probably watching this. I'm going to use you an example, but I protect my supporters. So don't take this personally. It's out of love. And this is the kind of stuff that changed my life. I wish I had someone who's where I am right now, who would engage with me in this way. So I'm just looking out for you here. So don't let what I'm about to say get lost in some sort of ego thing. Okay. Cause I'm just looking out for you here because so many people likely have the same question. I don't belittle anyone on this channel. In fact, there's nothing about me that's special. I'll be the first one to say that. I can repeat this. I can get to where I am over and over and over again. This is the third time. Right. And there's nothing special. There's nothing special to what I'm doing right now. There's nothing that I'm doing that you can't do. Now, with that being said, I want you to understand something. So you're essentially asking me if I think it's possible for you to reach $12,000 by December, 12 grand a month, let's just say, if you charge 4 to 5K. I want you to understand something. 4 grand is nothing. So the reason why it feels like a lot is because you are conditioned to feel like it's a lot. It's the same way you feel like running a mile might be a lot because you're not conditioned. Your body's not conditioned to run a mile, just like your mind is not conditioned to perceive that amount of money in a way so that you can just talk about it like it's nothing. You're not conditioned. A lot. Most of you are not. They talk about the 1% being the 1% because 99% of people are just not conditioned for it, and they don't do the conditioning for it purposely. So it's not. So 4 grand seems like a lot to the point where you're asking for permission, essentially, and we'll talk about that in a second. And this is not just you. This is 99% of people out of 100. And the thing is, you can become a 1%. You're not you can become that. So this is part of your becoming of that. So charging 4 grand is not a normal thing. And again, don't worry, we can make it a normal thing quickly so that this becomes your new normal. But what we need to do is we need to start talking bigger amounts right now, like very quickly. And we need to start saying, because it is, 4 grand is nothing. I make that in my sleep. And I'm not lying to you. This was a casual screenshot I posted the other day. This was dated Monday, September 29th. A client sent, this is just this is one of 5 installments. Like, you see this, I'm in bed by like 9 p.m. I literally make this in my sleep. Right. So I wouldn't even leave my house for anything less than 10 grand. Like, and 10 grand is a very, very entry level offer. And I think you guys are underestimating just how many businesses, let alone people, like, have money. There's a lot of, go to Apollo and filter by go to Select America or wherever you are located, and look at the different revenue filters. A lot of you guys are seriously underestimating just how many businesses and business owners have money. Yeah, yes, it's only 1% of these people, but that 1% still has a lot of wealth. There's a lot of money to be thrown around. And so much of what I'm doing right now in this channel is trying to position you to become incredibly useful and confident in the value that you can provide, and show you how to actually provide that value. If you are doubting what I'm saying right now, I went to great lengths to go into my email inbox for you and dig up more evidence, because what I'm saying is not, is just words until you see evidence of it. So, and I'm more than happy to provide that to you. So here's evidence of me negotiating on what was easily a 6-figure a month rev share deal, meaning 100K a month or more, that I actually walked away from. I've shown this before on this channel. This document is available in the description, but just look. You probably can't see this right now, but what this says is, I don't know if you can see this. I'm going to try and put this over my head, but it's just a rev share deal. It's commission for, 10% rev share for placements under 200K above. This is an executive search firm that I was in negotiations with. So 10% of 200,000 is 20,000. We would average, 5-10 placements a month. Do the math. Right? Just do the math. Like, this stuff, money moves around. Right? Again, I turned this down as the timing of the cash flow on the deal was not a good fit for me. I needed something more immediate. But this is nothing, my friends. And I'm saying this to you not to position myself above or below, but I'm saying this to you for your own benefit. You will make what is in your mental capacity to make. Making $5 or making $10 feels easy for you because it's in your mental capacity for you to make that. That's how the container of your mind has been stretched. Right? So we're talking about $4 grand. And let me not sound egotistical. Objectively, you can do a lot of money. You can do a lot with $4 grand. But I personally know guys making 40 grand a day. That's over $1 million a month, if you want to do the math. And even that's nothing. There's a reason why I'm deliberately choosing to talk like that. So I'm very far removed from $1 million a month. Let me just be clear. I'm not there yet. But I'm saying that's nothing because you can't afford to think that it's a lot, or else you end up forever putting it above you. You see what I'm saying? So if you want to get to the other side of the mountain quicker, this is the thing that allows me to skip the line and shortcut really quickly. If you want to get to the other side of the mountain quicker, stop trying to climb it and instead sidestep around it. And you do that in practical terms by shifting your perspective. And even in more practical terms, you shift your perspective by being around other people who are already there in having that perspective. So I threw in a bunch of tweets in here that resonated with where my mind was at this week, but here's Alex Hormozy. Right? He said the fastest way to become successful is to associate with people more successful than you. We just talked about this in, what was the video? Someone help me. Here, we just talked about this. My biggest regret, scaling to $1 million a year. We were talking about it. The game is pay to play. Right? The fastest way to become successful is to associate with people more successful than you. This results in some of the fastest learning and behavior change that you can experience. So, and another reason as to why I'm mentioning this is because you need to be around people who are talking like this about what you think are big numbers. It's imperative. I felt so, November 2023, I showed the screenshots of this. I made $0, like zero income. I was unemployed and I had no business. December 2023, I made over 20 grand and about 10 of that in cash collected. Do you know what happened between what was happening in November 2023 that allowed me to go from 0 to over 20K a month with 50% of that cash collected up front? I was hanging around people who are a lot more wealthy than me. A mentor allowed me to come in and do some free work with him. And that mentor was around some very wealthy folks. And I felt so like in my core, I felt so out of place. All right, I felt like a borderline loser. And you need to, that's like, luckily I was invited to do some free work for free. But still I would have paid to be in that circle, realizing what it's done for me now. Right. And so I say that to say, I've said this before, but I'm repeating this because it's crucial. You must get around other people who talk about these numbers like it's nothing. So I mentioned I have an audience member who runs a multi 7-figure firm. We go back and forth. I've been doing some coaching with them over about emails and cold email campaigns, and we talk about these numbers like it's nothing. Like it's like it doesn't even occur to us the magnitude. It's kind of like a child does not understand the currency or like the numerical value of a $10 bill or $20 bill. It just feels the same, right? I don't mean to get like all abstract here, but it's, if you really want to rewire your brain for free without paying for a coaching program or something like that, like I'm always going to give you the most cost effective route, because I understand some people don't have funds available or they're not able to tap into these resources. Just go listen to podcasts. That's what I do to this day. Listen to that's like being in the car or being in the locker room with some of your favorite entrepreneurs. Listen to their podcasts. This is sort of like my podcast in a way. Listen to those and it will rewire your brain. And how you know it's rewiring your brain is because you start to talk like them. So your problem, and I'm not talking to this person specifically, I'm talking to whoever's watching this, who's not where you want to be. Like your problem is all these things we talked about, but the fact that you still think $4,000 is a lot, and likely because it's a lot to those around you. I know what that's like. I grew up with, both my parents are immigrants. I come from humble beginnings. It's objectively a lot of money, but people stay in the same income band their entire life because they don't dare to think otherwise. So I had someone ask me, my plans for scaling the agency. I don't know if I'm going to make a whole video about this, but listen, I'm looking at setting up a $100,000 offer right now. I won't go into the specifics of it so as to not jinx it, but a 100K offer with 10 spots. So just do the math. That's $1 million a month, right? And I'm looking at doing that. Well, I'm not going to expose the timeline, but it's going to be real quick, relatively. How am I able to just say this and actually close on it though? Like everyone can talk about it, but how would I actually close on this? Meaning get them to pay me. How am I able to just say this and not have it be words in the air and just have it BS? So there's two things, and I've talked about both of these. Two things. Please do not let this go over your head. Please watch this video again. If this stuff is important to you, there's two things. Number one, self-esteem. I have very high self-esteem, and when I don't have high self-esteem, I'm working on my self-esteem. I'm never not working on my self-esteem. I work on my self-esteem by doing the things I just said, listening to other people, podcasts with high self-esteem, and or paying to be around them. I've insurmountable amounts of money to be coached by people. This is why I'm like this. It's just like you are like your friends, right? Okay. I paid to be like other millionaires, right? I've went into debt to do so. I'm not trying to coerce you into anything. I'm not saying that's what you need to do. I just had a really deep desire to be seen as successful. And one thing you'll notice, this is just me being totally honest. I always am, but just like I'm going places where other people on YouTube probably wouldn't go with this. I'm an A player. I'm not, nothing special, but like I'm an A type, right? I meaning like authority is very difficult for me. I tend to want to go out and build my own things, right? Very passionate. I don't like to be disturbed. Like, very result oriented. And what you will find with people who are like that is they have a very deep insecurity, talking about myself, of not wanting to be seen as unsuccessful, right? And so for me, my thing is like, I have a very difficult time, even now, I have a very difficult time socializing or going out to social settings or having dinner with friends or going to a nightclub or whatever. I have a very difficult time doing that because I don't want to be seen. Like I'm very competitive in that way. Like I like, not that like, I like, I like to be seen as successful. You know what I mean? It's like it's like the ego and the borderline the self-worth thing, but it ties into self-esteem, and you just have to know how you operate, period. That's it. You have to know how you operate, right? Don't necessarily try and change who you are, but lean into your strengths. And so I make that work for me by deliberately going out and seeking things that fulfill me in this way. You see what I mean? And so you have to understand, like, so much of this, you only even decide to think about this stuff and do this like internal self-reflection when you're at the bottom. When you're at the top and you're making money, you have no time to think about this. But this is why life knocks you on your butt. It's so that you can go and take a few months to think about the kind of person you want to mold yourself into being. But every winner or A-type has very deep insecurities. Alex Hormozy talked about this. The three common denominators among successful people, I forget what they are, but like people at the top have really deep insecurities, dude. Right? So it's everybody. I'm saying that to humanize what's happening right now, that I'm nothing special. I never want to come here and appear as anything special, but to also inspire you to ignite some sort of self-belief in you, right? So self-esteem. I'm always working at self-esteem. And then number two, a clear understanding of the ROI and my ability to deliver on this value that I'd be charging 100K for. So this is what I spend all my time communicating to the other party with evidence, and these videos being that evidence as well, and the fact that these testimonials are always growing and growing and the results are always growing and growing. You see what I mean? So there's no webinar behind this, guys. There's no get rich quick opportunity behind this. I start, the vast majority of these videos with my I make no income claims. My results are not typical. You've heard me say that time and time again. There's no get rich quick opportunity behind this. This is actually the closest thing to charity work for me, but I'm putting out the content that I needed. These are like the 3:30 a.m. thoughts when I was just like sitting in the bathroom, just upset as to why I wasn't successful. Like this is that. These are the answers. I'm putting out the content that I needed, not dressed up in any way, shape, or form. And for 99 out of 100 of you, this will be just talk. For one of you, maybe you who's watching this will be the video that reignites the belief you have in yourself to even say screw Pablo's opinion, screw everybody else's opinion or timeline on how fast this can be done or how fast this should go. I'm just going to go do it. I'm just going to go throw something out there and get 10 people on a sales call, and one person's going to say yes on this $10,000 offer, and boom, I did it. It's a game. The game is in your mind. The war is in your mind. The war is in your mind. The war is in your mind. If you have a hard time making sense of making a lot of money, or if you have a hard time making sense of charging a lot of money, it's because you lack self-esteem, and that's okay. We can fix that quite quickly. Or you lack an ability to make sense of the ROI you can deliver and confidence in your ability to deliver the ROI. The war is in your mind. So this is also a perfect example of how fear appears in the mind, right? So the only reason why you are not why you are not where you want to be is because of fear. That I promise you. Me personally, I do not fear big numbers. Therefore, I charge them. But I had to take certain steps to get here. So this is part of why my fee is high. I need the folks I work with, businesses, agency owners, I need them to succeed. It's very important for my reputation. We talked about wanting to be seen, needing to be seen as successful, like my self-image. I need the folks I work with to succeed because it's very important to my reputation. And I do everything I can to get them results. Case in point, why I've put out 96 videos in a row for free. It's very important to me. The people I work with cannot succeed if they do not charge a lot. They cannot get to the level of income that they want if they do not charge a lot unless they have gone viral or they're selling mass volume. And they're not doing that. They cannot charge a lot if they do not pay a lot because there will be too much of a disconnect. Therefore, me charging a lot is actually the biggest act of service anyone's ever done for them. They pay a lot for things. It immediately changes how they view investment. And within 6 to 12 months, like clockwork, they're 6-7 figure earners. Don't believe me? Check out my client testimonials. This is all it is. Okay. It's just the way I'm dissecting the war in your mind and what's happening right now. I'm narrating it. And that's all this is. It's just the way you ascend through the levels of income is reverse from what you're used to. A lot of people need evidence of success to believe in it. You need to believe that you're the person who does this. You just need to say, this is what I do, and the evidence will follow naturally. This is why only 1% of people see any sort of success and 99% of people don't, because 99 out of 100 of you have been trained to believe that you have to see evidence of you being capable of doing it for you to be able to do it. You have to see someone ask you for $4,000 for you to believe you can charge $4,000, rather than just saying, "Hey, I charge $4,000 for no other reason, but that's just how you roll." And people feed off of that confidence. This is what they don't teach you in school. I spent 4 years and over $40,000 in business school. That didn't teach me a damn thing about how to build a business. Now, next, 99% of questions I get in my emails, and especially from beginners, are, and not even just, okay, especially from beginners, but not even just beginners. I'm talking about people in the 7-figure level. Those of you who reach out to me, it's everyone, which is fine. It's human. But 99% of the questions I get are people asking for permission. And what I'm trying to do with all this is not tell you what to think, but teach you how to think. And how you should think is by remembering who you are and leaning into your gut, trusting yourself. What would you do anyway? Lean into the things that make you different. I'm never going to try and change you as a business owner, as an operator, because you can get to a successful point being a very different operator than myself, for example. I just need you to lean into who you are. If you don't like socializing much, don't socialize. If you don't like talking to people, don't talk to people. If you don't like collaborating, don't collaborate. If you're a visionary, be a visionary. If you're an operator, be an operator. Right? But 99% of the questions I get are people asking me for permission. What do you want me to say? Yes? Yes, you can do it? What if I said no, right? Or what if I'm an AI? I'm not, but you don't know. You haven't met me in person. So what do you want me to say? Yes, you can do it? Right? Just do it. Whether you think you can or you think you can't. You're right. Whoever said that, someone cite it, please. Anyway, the best thing you can do to win this war in your mind is to start doing yourself the favor and adopt the mind frame that this is easy. This is easy to me. I say that all the time. Even when I don't know what I'm doing, I say to myself that this is going to be really easy. Anyway, next, all of your ideas about what can and can't be done lie in your mind. All right. So what is stopping you from making $100,000 in the next 3 months? Is it a lack of knowledge? No. That's not stopping you. What's stopping you is a lack of willpower, because I guarantee you, if the stakes were high enough, you'd find a way to do it. You'd look at other people who have done it, and you'd look at where there is evidence of having done it, right? You'd look at the people who have put forth evidence of having done this, and you reach out to them and ask them to show you how to do it, or you just copy them. So you know what to do, guys, and I'm telling you, you do. It's just everybody's, number one, so far removed from their gut their instinct, or number two, they're playing by somebody else's rules. And I know this video is a bit disjointed, but this was just a thought stream today. But tell me, which one is it? Are you removed from your gut, or are you playing by somebody else's rules, or both? Which one is it for you, and why? Again, the war is won in your mind. The war only exists in your mind. When I think back on the times where I asked questions like this, I realized that I had too much time. And one of the reasons why people don't get to the level that they want to get is because they give themselves too much time. There's no deadlines. It's not an emergency. The stakes are not high enough. And you need to think very deeply about the life that you are neglecting right now, the life that you could have that you are neglecting. Right? Like the people you see winning right now, they're nothing special. I'm the first one to humanize myself. Don't fall in love with the people you see on YouTube. I've just been through a lot of stuff, and I have contextualized it, meaning I've done my best to think about it and understand why I was put in these positions, or why I put myself rather in these positions. But I'm no one special, and I know a lot of these guys. I've been watching and following and tracking a lot of these guys on the internet. They're not that special. They're actually, a lot of them are very dumb. It's just they have balls, right? They have balls. Like the level of success you want is going to take a lot of effort, but you won't be not even motivated. You won't be conditioned to make that effort because, again, you haven't hit your crisis. We talked about this in the other video. My biggest lessons and regrets scaling to $1 million a year, or whatever it was. You haven't gotten beat up yet, right? You haven't gotten beat up yet. And if you're not in a fight, like, there are days where I don't feel like getting up. There are days where I don't feel like making a video. And I'll talk about this in a second. Even today, I was so close to. I was so slow to get out of bed today. I typically wake up at 3:30 in the morning. I was out of bed at maybe 9. I was up for hours. But it's just one of those days where it's almost like I didn't have it in me. And then I had a thought that said, if you're not in a fight for anything, you're in a fight for your respect, right? Talking about a want and a deep desire to be seen as successful and to be successful. If you're not going to fight for anything, then fight for your respect. And this is what it is all the time, whether or not you want to accept it. Like, this entire game is about proving yourself. It is. You have something to prove. Don't ever let anybody tell you different. You have something to prove. Right? So there's a lot we can say on that, but I'm going to keep going. Next, I don't think many of you understand just how competitive this game is and how much of a favor you are doing folks like myself, other people in this game, by taking days off. And by not going after your dreams. There's a lot of people, I don't relish on this, but there are a lot of, like, you make my life easier by not going after what you want. I'm just being honest, right? And if you're not where you want to be, the simple truth is you don't want it badly enough. That was like a psh for me. I've never seen someone want it with all their heart and not get it. You think you want it bad enough. When you want it bad enough, you will get it. It's in your best. It's in your best interest to just believe that. Like, it doesn't hurt you to believe that, because it's the truth, right? Take a look at this graph. This is here. This one's better. So this is my lifetime stats. This is my lifetime stats on this YouTube channel. Okay. You can see for the longest time, June, July, August, I was averaging maybe 0 to 8 or 0 to 10 views. Less than 10 views per video. 2 months, 2.5 months. Again, I never cared about views or anything like that. This was all just like, again, so I could point clients to something if they were to look me up. That's all this ever was, client acquisition. Right? There was no, like, Let me get popular so I could do X, Y, Z. No, I had a business already, right? Why did I keep going? Why did I keep going? Like, and before we answer that, look at all the peaks and the dips, right? One thing that people will get wrong. This is how you shoot yourself in the foot and trick yourself out of the game. This is how you lose the war. Is you think that first spike right here means that you've won. I don't measure myself, and nor should you. I don't measure myself by the peaks, like the very top of the spikes. I measure myself by the bottom of the dips. Those are the true reflections of where I am at and where you are. Right? Like this, I wish I could draw on this notion. I need a whiteboard feature. The bottom of those peaks, the bottom of those dips, the bottom of the valleys are the truest reflection of where I'm actually at. And that's just for life in general, right? But anyway, so why did I keep going? Number one, because everybody has a lucky day. And you get lucky, like Alex says here, you get lucky by staying in the game long enough for luck to find you. Right? So out of the last 96 days that I've been publishing content on YouTube, if I'm just going to be honest with you guys, like always, I've truly felt like uploading for maybe 10 of them. Because I know I don't need this. It's like, it's not a necessity. The rest is really me just daring myself not to upload so that I can tell, like, there's like this, like, it's that thing, that A player thing. It's like, go ahead and skip a day so I can, I can prove that you're not really that guy. Like that's the one person on my shoulder saying that. Alex also said you can measure most people's success by the amount of work they did after they stopped feeling like it. So that's that. But also number two, I had nowhere else to go. Where am I going to go? Right? What I mean by that is you have to hate being broke more than you like being successful. You have to hate not being where you want to be more than you want to be successful. Meaning I have a deep-seated fear. As someone, you guys know the story if you've been around for long enough. As someone who has failed, I've started many, like at least 10 different businesses, but only 3 of them, including this one, have really like made real money. The first one failed. The second one I neglected to the point where it failed. But I say that to say I know what it's like to have a lot of money and then lose it because of my doing. And that feeling of being back in the bottom is petrifying. It's like, it's so shameful. And I hate that. And so for me, it's nothing to just keep going because I think about that feeling and that's not what I want to go back to. And so you just have to be able to keep going solely because you like to fight. And if none of this describes you, then it's on you to get yourself to this point. So the takeaway, because this video is getting kind of long, your life changes the moment you realize that you have the balls to say how this goes. You can say it out of your own mouth and in the depths of your soul that this is how it's going to go for me. This is how Q4 goes. I'm going to do X, Y, and then Z is going to happen. And then you act on it, and then it happens. That's what takes place when you operate with that level of conviction and you speak with that level of conviction. It's weird, but it just works that way because people pay you to the level of your conviction. There are other people who are better at cold email than me. There are other people, clearly, who are better at business than me. I have a very high degree of conviction. I also have a very deep desire to see other people win and get them results, even if it means that I have to roll up my own sleeves. Your income, last takeaway, is nothing more than an indication of your level of self-mastery, more than anything else. It's just a game. It's levels. 10K a month, the famed, notorious 10K a month is just a level. It's a level of the game. And what I failed so long to realize was that I had to become 10K a month as a person in my habits, the time I wake up, the things I would tolerate, the distractions I would entertain, so on and so forth. You have to become that as a person, and then naturally you do things that lead you towards that. Naturally you gravitate away from your old friends, and then you gravitate in towards new circles, even if you have to pay to be there. You gravitate towards new content. If I were to look at your YouTube feed, it would right now it would give me a pretty good indication as to why you are where you are. It would give me a very good indication. Just as an example. So your income is nothing more than an indicator of your level of self-mastery more than anything else. And I know that if I want to scale to $1 million a month, for example, I know this before I even hit it. Play this back in a year. I know that to scale to $1 million a month, first off, I can't afford to think that it's far away, because it's not. Second, I have to start operating in that way. And something about where I am now, whether it's my knowledge gap or my willpower or whatever it is, has made it so that I'm not there right now. So I got some work to do. Right? I'm never telling you anything that I'm not applying myself or have applied in my own journey. It is what it is. But anyway, the war is in your mind. The war is in your mind. Everything is in your mind. The reason why you're not where you want to be is it's in your mind. We'll talk about cold email every other day. But I can't just funnel you into some webinar and say, this is the new opportunity and buy this course and blah, blah, blah. And then you take it. And obviously you're not going to succeed because you're not that as a person yet. So it doesn't matter what business model I put you onto. And I wish I had known this sooner, but the business model really doesn't matter. You can make any business work, but are you the person? This is why Elon Musk can build PayPal and then build Tesla and then build a spaceship company and then build the Boring Company, so on, all at the same time. This not all at the same time, but in sequence, and a lot of them in parallel. This is why, because he's just the person in terms of how he conceptualizes things. And those guys talk about multi-billion-dollar deals. Here we're talking about $4,000. We're talking about $1 million a month. In my head, I'm way further than that. And this is how you collapse time. You have to be there in the mind first and start talking about this as though it's nothing, even though you have no outside evidence to be talking that way. But then you will realize that it's that people pay you again based off of your conviction. Okay, so I hope I took that out of woo land and brought that back down to earth. But that's the truth of all of this. It's the people who make a lot of money have really high self-esteem, and a lot of times on the back end, this is the yin and yang of success. Is they have that self-esteem, which is very real. They very much have that confidence, but on the back end, and this is the truth of it, they have deep insecurities as well, and they know how to make that work in their favor. Instead of, which is what the broke folks do, or people who aren't where they want to be, is they hide behind their insecurities. I'm not good enough, therefore I'm not going to do it. That's what they do. And then they exist in the comment sections with the other minions. Right? Or they blame the business model like the worms do, who kind of move around blindly. Anyway, it's a different conversation, but I hope this video helps, and you'd probably need to listen to this again. Okay? My YouTube channel as of Thursday, I'm checking the date on my watch, but it doesn't tell me the date. Actually it does, but it's not set correctly. As of Friday, October 3rd, 2025, I get nothing from this. My channel's not even monetized, by the way. I like to listen to my own videos and judge the quality of my videos and see if I really did something, if I can sleep at night with this being out there. And if I really did a service to whoever's watching this. Did I really help them make more money? I just put it out there. I don't ask for anything. And then, a couple days later, I'll get an email saying, hey, I just closed on a 10K offer. I just hit my first 20K month because of you. That is what I like. Because that's the undeniable evidence. You know what I mean? Without me having even charged for this yet. That's a separate conversation. But you know what I mean? That is what I want. And to kind of I get a kick out of seeing other people succeed versus other people charging you for this stuff. All right. So I hope that helps, guys. If you've stayed around this long, I appreciate it. My offers and updates, done for you services limited to B2B firms, B2B firms doing over $1 million a year, ARR, or 80K a month, MRR on an invite-only basis. Engagement fee begins at 50K. Spectre mentorship / coaching program to be announced in the coming days. It will be announced via my newsletter first. Spots will be limited by application only. First come, first serve. Okay. That isn't some marketing tactic or anything like that. It's limited because I'm going to be working with you personally, and I can't support 1,000 people. Right? I'm very like there are 430 or 450 of you on the newsletter, something like that. I'm considering just starting with 10 spots. Again, it's just so the sake, I care to see people win and get results. Okay. Anyway, it will be the best program on the market if you are looking to, number one, learn how to integrate AI cold email and cold email AI agents into your business to unlock a whole new level of scale. Beyond that, I'm going to show you how to become $1 million a year earner and scale your business to $1 million a year, as I've done for my clients and as I'm doing for myself, again, in real time. It will be a copy paste of the systems I've used to scale their businesses in mine, led by a copy paste of my AI cold email system. It'll be the most bulletproof, tested, result-oriented. It is the most bulletproof, tested, result-oriented program on the market, not like any other program available to date. No BS, no fluff, just designed to get you results. It'll be a private group of results-driven A players who are looking to scale quickly with a proven cold email system, branding system, and dominate. If you think the stuff I share on here is valuable, I'm about to put you light years ahead. Spots will be limited again to protect the talent pool. And also, I will be working with you personally. Only for the most invested and committed. It will be expensive, but you will get results. To be announced in the coming days via my newsletter first. See you guys in the next video. I'm out. Peace.